Welcome to the Evening Review. My name is Sokhane, and tonight we are joined in studio by Matheus Stefanus of the Unemployed Graduates Union of Namibia. Before we go into that interview, we'll go for a short break.
And what do you think about this one, babe?
Can we go now?
You're the best.
Can we go now?
Sweetie, we're just getting started.
1 second, babe. I'm on the phone.
Yeah.
What do you think about this one, babe? Babe? What were you saying?
Welcome to the Evening Review, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for inviting us.
You are the Deputy Secretary General of the Unemployed Graduates Union of Namibia. Kindly explain to us just your journey as being from having graduated up until now, and your attempts to find employment.
Yes, thank you. Exactly, the whole process is very hard because from the moment the person leaves the higher institution, is no longer any students. So it's now become a graduate once we obtain a certificate. So we decide now from there, it's the idea from 2019. So for us to form up this organization that can able to represent unemployed graduate. Once after they leave the university, they must be in an organization that can able to have a database for all the graduates in Namibia. Because when you look on the these are the things that's supposed to be done by the Ministry of Higher Education. They're supposed to have all this law to how to cater the student in database from the institutions. But the Ministry of Higher Education, I remember where in 2017 they were come up with a good initiative for what was launched, what we call SEP. It was done at Country Club. That regarding to make for the students to train them on how to start up business and then to give a way for funding. But that idea, it's ending there. Maybe if you can only ask the Minister of Higher Education, is still the one who was launching that program. If that program no longer exists, we don't know how many students were funded for them to either to come up with something after leaving the university. So now it's so unemployed graduate, they are suffering with their degree. They are just joining this. Now we have graduates who are joining the street vendors, who are now competing with the street vendors, because now the market, there is no job for the people. And then you look at the government freezing the vacancies since the current administration take over. one of their policies are praying for them to reduce the bill, the government bill, yeah, the wage bill. It is to frozen the post of all the government.
But now, Matheus,
Yes.
from your own experience, just describe to the viewers,
Yeah.
your attempts to find work, how it's been, how difficult has it been, and how does it make you feel if you have to compare yourself to other people that you studied with but that now may have jobs?
Yeah, no, it's feel bad. Imagine, for specifically, let me talk about myself. I graduated, I left university at 2017. Up to date, the degree, the honors degree that I obtained, it just up to now, I did not obtain any job in the market. So, and then this situation is, it will not go along to in a good way that the graduate will be suffering while we have a sleepless night for all 4 years studying with a aim to get something. Because when you know there was a tendency where they say education is the key, but the moment we obtain the degrees now, they change the padlock now, the way the system where it's not absorbing the graduate for them to find any opportunity in the market. Now we decide now, okay, it's fine. Those that are in charge of the driving the government, when we look even on the President Lima to say it, they must create jobs.
How did that make you feel?
We feel bad. That statement pronounced by the president who promised the graduate, or I mean promising the young Namibian, the youth at large, during their time of politics, the first point they have is that they are going to create a job. But now, once given a lift to the bread, now they are changing the mindset of their program. They are no longer talking about the youth, how they are going to deal with the youth. They don't have any program that are there that can be even visible. They can launch one program to another, but the result, where are the results? We have Desri, which is the spokesperson under the president's advice on the youth matters. Up to now, we can't see the result come out of that advisor program from the Desli as on the youth matters. The wrong things about the government, how they do things, they don't invite affected people. They only do it like for a breakfast invitation for their other comrade to come and enjoy for something that are once they're supposed to say they had to go through all the regional council that we have in this country to say, okay, they are launching a program for the youth, either for the graduate or just a youth in general, that they must invite them. But in this context, we are talking about unemployed graduate over 98,000 in this country. They are just roaming in the street, which is a crisis that need to be addressed, that either will lead to the government to find a way to have a budget that is specifically look on the graduate, that this fund, it's only aimed for the graduate. You can't say create your own job. You can't start a business without a business. They need to be registered, a business requiring money. For a person to operate a business, it's not something very simple. It's something that needs someone to have a startup capital. And then you look, a graduate is someone who don't have any collateral asset. In the aspect, when you look at our financial institution that we have, it's already limiting, if you to say in that, because you cannot access to certain capital if you are not have a collateral asset.
Plus, of course, there would also be student debt from NASFAF.
Imagine, we have that program. There is NASFAF funding our programs. Now NASFAF is calling, even say they are going to put our name for us not paying. We are going to pay with what? We are still on the street. There is no job in the market. There is nothing we can do for us even to make the payment on what they are on their request.
Matheus, This recently, the president had an engagement with the youth to discuss issues aimed at addressing unemployment and creating opportunities for young people and so forth. As a union, were you invited? Did you get a chance to air your views at that specific forum? And as a union, did you ever speak to the youth advisor, Ms. Desiree?
Yes, on the invitation, so we were not part of it. But when it's come to Desiree, we had to engage through written submission to engaging with that office, because we want a program that is visible, not just when we ask to say we want to talk to the as on your capacity as an advice through this office. To have any funding program allocated. Let's say now this money can be, because when you talk about money, we are not requesting money from an individual. We talk about the money that's supposed to be utilized through the natural resource of these nations to be used and capitalized so that in a good production. So that in that context to say, we have, let's say, a fishing quota. Put up some program, say, okay, these tons of fish, they are going to be sold so that they can generate money that specifically just for the youth or unemployed graduate who have potential to have business. Then they can invest in that then in different aspects. So regarding to the office, that's many of Desiree. We engaging that office, but they don't have a formal responding. You know, everything they want to turn it into politics. But once everything you are in charge of the government, you must able to accommodate everyone, regardless of what is own opinions. Look at the facts, what the person is requesting your office to do. If you don't have any answer, just be specific to say we are not ready to address this issue. Don't be hiding around in, we call conference today, the conference is gone, but we are talking about where are the results. Because in that, even the office is supposed to be, when you go there, ask them, how many youth were given fund from this office? And then how far are those people? You will not even get even, like say, 10 people, or maybe there is, but it must be for comrade.
Tell me, in the past, your union has suggested a grant that that government should pay to unemployed graduates.
Yes.
How is the grant going to work, and where is government going to find money, given now the situation that we find ourselves in?
So, you know, we are guided by the Article 95 of our Namibia Constitution, which have a social welfare for all the people in these countries that's supposed to be catered. It's indicated. It's only that if you have those that are violating the Constitution, they need to read and understand what Article 95 of social welfare said. They had to reply on it by look on the fact of when want to say there is no money in this country, but by looking at the corruption, which is speeding at 180 every year, there is money missing. So there's only money for missing, but when it's come for production or assisting others to be lifted in a position to be lifted in a way that they can able to assist. For instance, 5 graduates of 3 graduates stay in the same house. There is cosmetic that needed to be bought by these people that they need to use every month. That's what we suggest now. Things are there is only that the implementer, the people to put out to implement things, they are not there to look what specific are say. Even the African Charter, African Youth Charter is very clear when it's come articulating about the youth. That's what we suggest to say, okay, if a person has a certificate, let at least have a 300, if you have a degree, have a 400 per month as an allowance until that he can even able to have money to go to interview. He can able even to have money to make a copy for the CV. Imagine a day pass without $1. That's the situation that now the graduates are facing daily. Because you cannot even submit some of the things because, let's say, be done even online, we don't have data. There is no sender that are there to say, okay, you can either go to regional office if you want to do some of your things for free. There is nothing. Everything is just costing money. So that's why we say we want the government to come on board. So the national budget, we must have a domestic budget generated by our own production that we must specifically to be divided to say, okay, from the mining, the 5% must be directly to this program. 5% from fishing must be directly to this program. Because the money is there. It's only that how to utilize this money. And then must be shared equally. Because in Namibia, when they say about injustice, we are high in this world when it's come to injustice. Unequal distribution of resources. Namibia is lagging at those countries that have unequal when it's come to distribution of resources. Because we have so many resources, but when it's come to distributing to others, we don't want. Yes, that's why we have so many old people occupying free position or full position. These are the same people who are singing that the graduate must find a way to create job. But imagine a 70 years old or 70 years or 75 years old person telling you to create job while he's still sitting on the ticket of the government. It doesn't make sense. It's very painful. They need to withdraw some of the statement. You cannot be while on the ticket of the government, but you are telling someone, you're supposed to say, okay, I'm going to resign. If this was a good leader, someone had to say, I'm going to resign. I've been here for the long on the ticket of the government for so many years. Let me retire so that I will allow someone to come and take over, or I'll create a business and show the example. We never even had, some even have farms, but they only maybe have 5 cattle on their farm. Imagine if that person was retired from there to, the business is something very difficult. They cannot even also, they have money on the ticket of the government, but they cannot even manage to land the farm so that they can create job for the masses.
And then lastly, some interventions. What do you think, what are you suggesting government do to create jobs for unemployed graduates? You mentioned the issue of fishing quotas, empowering unemployed graduates through the allocation of fishing quotas. But apart from that, are there other interventions that you've looked at?
So what is really necessary, required, is we need to focus on the agriculture. The agriculture is the most aspect that when we look in Namibia, we consume what we don't produce. It does not necessarily mean we cannot do it. It's only that we need to have some limit on certain products. The government can even buy a farm where we can produce our apple, or where we can spinach, and even the toothpick. It's something very, very funny to say. We don't produce on our own. We need to limit some of the products that come in. I mean, if you want to create job, because you can, if you're only exporting, importing everything in this country, then how you are going to create job? Because someone that need to cut the tree, there's someone that need to, if that line production through agriculture, we can create more job as much as we can. It can be done by giving subsidies to, once you give the training on this product to be sold on the local market, by putting up limit to say, okay, because we are relying on South Africa, this certain product must be limited so that we can enable our local market or our local production to be produced to grow. And then we protect our, imagine even water, that we are spending millions of just importing water. These are things that can be done by our own people here. We only need to revert back and put up the policy that let's say our Namibian first before everyone. Let's have interest for our own people so that we can able to generate something.
Thank you for joining us on the Evening Review.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for tuning into the Evening Review. Have a good weekend.
Hands up, get down. I'm gonna bring that attitude. Blow up, get loud and ready to raise the latitude. I got this down, want it or not, I set the mood. No one holds out after they catch this attitude. Blow up, get loud and ready to raise the latitude. I got this down, want it or not, I set the mood. No one holds out after they catch this attitude. Better watch out when I walk your way. No, you can't help when I do the thing. I give the people something to say. Move it, watch it, whoa. Walk in the club, yeah, all eyes on me. I leave the room with none left to see. I am the one that y'all wanna be. Shake it, stir it, feel it.
You see me through